choice or a mother figure in our lives, we think about all the things our mother taught us, right? Well, for instance, my mother taught me about logic. You know, I can just hear her now.
Karen Sue, if you fall out of that swing and break your neck, you're not going to the store with me.
That's her. And my mother taught me about medical science.
If you don't stop crossing your eyes, they are going to freeze that way.
And my mother taught me to appreciate a job well done.
If you're going to kill each other, do it outside. I just finished cleaning.
My mother taught me to have a sick sense of humor.
When that lawnmower cuts off your toes, don't come running to me.
And my mother taught me about hypocrisy.
If I told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times. Don't exaggerate.
And my mother taught me about the weather.
This room of yours looks like a tornado went through it.
And last but not least, my mother taught me about wisdom.
When you get to be my age, you'll understand.
And that's the truth. That one is really true. And I want to thank you, Mama Susie. It was fun, wasn't it, remembering all those sayings? And I'm sure some of you have heard them when you were growing up for real. And when I was raising my son, I said, I'm never going to say those things, right?
Right.
And then later on, when I have my child, I end up saying them. Oh, gosh. I guess you might call that wisdom. On Mother's Day, I not only like to think of my own mother, but I like to look at the progress that we are making in allowing women to be equal in today's world. And it's especially important to me this year because I have my first great-grandchild. Deanie Sue. Isn't she a sweetie? But I'm thinking about what is the world going to be like for her. And let's face it, women have not always had been equal on the playing field. Think about it. Men were able to vote 183 years ago, and women only 95 years ago. And another reason this matters so much to me is that in order for us to be whole and complete, we need to use the gifts of both the masculine and the feminine. One of my instructors in ministerial school, Tony Bain, wrote a book called Embracing the Feminine Divine. Embracing the Feminine Nature of the Divine. And Tony identifies 3 parts of the divine feminine, which are intuition, compassion, and love. And she also has 3 parts of the masculine, which are intelligence, will, and power. Now, this doesn't mean that the women only have 3 and the men have 3. It means that we all have all 6. But what happens a lot of times is that the women lead with the 3 and men lead with the 3. But I think we would be dysfunctional if we didn't have all 6 in us. So if we need all these traits to be functional and healthy, what happens when we label some of those traits as being inferior or we suppress some of those traits? Well, I think what happens is it's like going through life with one hand tied behind your back. That's difficult to do. Think of all the things that you need to do with one hand tied behind your back. And it's happened in the world for a long time, and the feminine qualities have been suppressed. So when we value the intellect over intuition and compassion, the result is a world where wars are commonplace, genocide happens, and is practiced, and poverty is tolerated. Think about it. If we were solving problems with compassion, could we really attack people? Or could we ignore people's suffering? I really don't think we could. Of course, if we abandon the masculine qualities, the same things would happen. We would wind up with a culture that lacked direction and vision. So it's hard to evolve and grow without valuing intuition, will, and power. We need all the aspects, all of them being used. The divine feminine can appear as that motherly instinct that wants us to be careful in a world that has biological, nuclear, and chemical weapons. Caution does sound like a good idea with all that, right? I mean, did any of your mothers tell you not to run with scissors? There's a lot of wisdom there. You know, you are holding on to something that can hurt you, so go slow. On the other hand, that same intuition may be telling you to take action when we might not be inclined to do so, and it might not seem logical. For example, take Jesus for example. His followers, he told his followers to love their enemies and pray for those who persecute them. That does not sound like an intuitive action. And that's why we use this man's life as a way shower, because he was one of the few human beings who were totally evolved. I mean, he used all aspects of his divinity, his masculine, his feminine, the whole picture. And when Jesus said to love your enemies, that was the feminine nature of the divine speaking. And we say that Jesus was fully human and fully divine. All the attributes of the divine were fully expressed in him and in perfect balance. So he's just a great role model. And we see this compassion over and over again as he healed the sick, he comforted the persecuted, he forgave others, he worked with the children. And we also see his strength, and we see his will when he cleaned up the temple and stood up to the Pharisees and the high priest. And Jesus surrounded himself with both male and females. And I think that was very unusual in the time that he lived. He didn't let any stinking stereotypes get in the way. And he was a living demonstration of the power that we can have if we live from an awareness of all the resources and spiritual qualities that we have at our disposal every day. And I do see progress in our world. I look around at the men here in our spiritual community, and I know that you are spiritually evolved and are helping women to be valued in the world. You are the good guys. You are our allies. Yeah. You are the ones who will be the role models, just like Jesus was, for other men who are standing up for women in your lives, whether it be mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, spouses, a female friend. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for partnering with us, and for your honor and for your love and for your support. And we have amazing mothers and women in this world. And just look at some of the things that women are doing these days. Leadership. Marissa Mayer at 38 is the president and CEO of Yahoo. Helen Mirren, most of you know her. We love her, right? And she's 68 years old, but she's an award-winning actress. And she's breaking that barrier that actresses who are older are no longer viable. And she's also speaking out about sexism, which she encountered in her early career. Oprah, 65, billionaire and a talk show host. and African American. Nikki Haley, 44, is the 116th governor of South Carolina. Robin Roberts, a good 52, a Good Morning America anchor. Hillary Clinton, 67, running for president of the U.S. this year, whether you like her or not. She's a female running for president, right? And another thing that I found were the amazing things that young women are doing. Look at this. I'm going to look at my notes to be able to pronounce this last name. Malala Yousafzai, 14 years old, wounded by the Taliban for promoting education for girls. She has sparked an international movement for girls' education. Yay. 9-year-old Samantha Gordon is the fastest player on her all-boys Pee-wee football team. Hey, and she's not only the fastest, but she takes on the biggest and baddest, tackling them. 4 teenage girls in Africa invented a urine-powered generator. 1 liter gives you 6 hours of electricity. Women are smart. This six-year-old was playing the game Guess Who? And she realized that there were only 5 girl characters and 19 boy characters. So she got with her mom to help her write a letter to Hasbro. And I don't know if I have that up there. Is that it?
Yeah, but she just...
Okay, I want to tell you what she said. It is not only boys who are important, girls are important too. If grown-ups get into thinking that girls are not important, they won't give little girls much care.
Oh.
I mean, come on, out of the mouths of babes. It's amazing. And there are many more examples. I put a website in your handout if you want to go there and look at the other young women that are doing amazing things. There's so much. And right here at Unity of Auburn, we have a women's group, about 26 of us, and they are committed. They come here week after week to do spiritual growth and learning, and they take that into our spiritual center as volunteers. They take it into their families. They take it out into the world to just have that intuition, love, and compassion be what they lead with out in the world. And I also want to honor those who care for our children here at our spiritual center, and these are the females. So I just want to honor Mary Lou Banahan, Brenda Ackerman, Sarah Lynn, and Lynn Banahan, and others who fill in sometimes, Ava Wright, Jan Warren, Donna Vetramili, Stephanie Langley, and others. Did I miss anyone? Because I surely don't want to miss someone. All right, but it's amazing what they teach our children. They share their talent free of charge to teach our Unity children that they are the light of the world, and they come into this world whole and complete, which is a different message than you get if you're going to go somewhere else. They are teaching our children that they have the power inside them to have a healthy, happy, prosperous life. They are teaching our children to love one another. Right now, Reverend Rick Reich is also taking them to different spiritual centers so they learn about different faith traditions, and they learn that differences aren't bad, but they're just different. I said that I would have loved to have grown up in Unity, and I know I've heard many of you say the same thing. How would my life have been different if I had grown up in Unity with that kind of love and care? So I say thank you to all those in our youth and family ministry. We celebrate the qualities of the divine feminine, which are intuition, compassion, and love. And because it's a vital part of our society, we need both the masculine and the feminine, and we need to bring them up to 50-50. And I think we can do that here in Unity because we believe in that and we can take it out into the world. So Mother's Day reminds us to honor our wholeness and make sure that we're not going through life with one hand behind our back. So listen to your mother, the mother of your heart. She's got a lot of good stuff to tell you. She'll help you reach out with love and compassion, and she'll help you slow down and listen to your inner guidance when things seem to be slipping out of control. And now, you know, that's what I call a Mother's Day gift. And I have a video, and I think we have time to show you. But I saw this online, and it's a hoot. But it really shows what mothers do and go through, and it's really funny. So I'd like to end my talk today and show you this video. Can we do it, Jacob? All right.
Get up out of bed, wash your face, brush your teeth, comb your sleepy head. Here's your clothes and your shoes, hear the words I said. Get up now, get up and make your bed. Are you hot, are you cold, are you wearing a net? Where's your books and your lunch and your homework at? Grab your coat and your gloves and your scarf and hat to bring it. You gotta feed the cat, eat your breakfast, the eggs, first tell us it's the most important meal of all. Take your vitamins so we will grow up Monday to be big and tough. Remember the daughters will be seeing you at 3 to 1. Don't forget your piano lesson is this afternoon, so you must play, don't shovel, choose slowly, but hurry. The bus is here, be careful, come back here. Did you wash behind your ears? Play outside the door. If you just play fair, be polite, make a friend, don't forget to share. Work it out, wait your turn, never take a dare. Get along, don't make me come down there, clean your room for you. Just step away, make a man do it now. Do we have all day? Were you born in a barn? Would you like some hay? Give me don't sit so close, turn it down, no texting at the table. No, computer time tonight. Your iPod's my iPod if you don't listen up. Where you going and when movement? What time do you think you're coming home? Say thank you, please, excuse me, makes you welcome everywhere you look. Appreciate my wisdom someday when you're older and you're grown. Can't wait till you have a couple little children of your own. You thank me for the counsel I gave you so willingly, but right now I thank you not to roll your eyes at me because you appreciate. Take a bite, maybe two of the stuff you hate. Use your fork, do not burp, or I'll set you straight. Eat the food I put it on your plate. Get an A, get a door, don't be smart with me. Get a grip, get a mirror, I'll count 2, 3. Get a job, get a life, get a PhD, get a dose. You're grounded until you're 36. Get your straight and tell the truth for once, for heaven's sake. And if all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you jump too? Stand up, as I said at least 1,000 times before that you're too old to act this way. It must be your father's deed. Look at me when I am talking. Stand up straighter when you walk a place for everything, and everything must be in place. Stop crying or I'll give you something real to wash your face with your PJs on. Get in bed, get a hug, say a prayer with Mom. Don't forget, I love you. Tomorrow we will do this all again because the months are never ends. You don't need the reason why. Because. I said so, I said so, I said so, I said so. I'm the mom, the mom, the mom, the mom, the mom. Ta-da!
Oh, wasn't that great? I don't know how she did that.